Hello guys and welcome to Python programming tutorials by Amulya's Academy. Today in this tutorial we'll write a Python program to print a pattern. So this is our today's pattern. This is the combination of 4 pattern and we need to print these stars and number in the diamond shape. As I said, this pattern is the combination of 4 patterns. So when we take number of row as 5, we need to get output like this. We need to get star pattern with 5 rows. Then we need to get this number pattern 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with 5 rows. And we need to get this pattern with 5 rows. And lastly, we need to get this pattern with 5 rows. So when we take input as 5, number of row as 5, in the output we'll get 10 row. If we combine these 4 patterns together, then we'll get our today's pattern. So to write this program, we'll divide our pattern into 4 parts. As I said, this is the combination of 4 pattern. So first we'll separate 4 pattern. This is the part 1, this is the part 2, this is part 3 and part 4. We'll write the separate code for every part. So let's begin from the part 1. We want to print a star pattern. In the star pattern, first we want to print space. Here you can see. Next we want to print star. We'll get this pattern when we take number of row as 5. So here first I'll write down the row number and column number. So first I'll write down the column numbers. Column is starting from 0 and these are the row numbers. Now here we can see at row 0, in first 4 column I want to print space and in the last column I want to print a star. In row 1, in first 3 column I want to print space. And here next I want to print 2 star. So if I write down space and star here, how many space and star I want in every row? At row 0 we want 4 space and 1 star. Here 3 space and 2 star, 2 space and 3 star, 1 space and 4 star and 0 space and 5 star. When we take number of row as 5, the input is 5, we'll get this pattern. And we'll get this many space and star in every row. Now to print this pattern I'm using nested for loop method, and I won't explain every pattern in detail because we already discussed about this pattern and this shape so many times in this video series. So I will give you the link of all the related videos in the description box. You can go and check that if you want detailed explanation. So in Python file, first step is we need to take the input, and in most of the pattern programs, input is will ask the user to mention number of row he or she want in the output. So here also I'll ask that number of row or how many row you want in the output. Because here I'm using Python 3 and in Python 3 by default the input function will take input as the string value. But here we want number of row which is an integer value. I need to convert the input to integer using int function. Next, I'll use nested for loop, and here the first for loop is for row, and here I need to mention how many row I want in the output. First I want n rows. Here we are taking this for loop to print the upper patterns. Only these 2 pattern. So that's why I took number of row as n. So here in the range function I'm taking range as n. That means I value or row value is starting from 0. If n value is 5, we'll get row as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Total 5 rows starting from 0 ending at 4. Next here I'll take the for loop for column, and I and j are the variables here. So first we took the for loop for row, right? So for I in range n, if n is 5, I value will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the row value. Now inside the for loop for row, we are taking the for loop for column. That means I need to check in a row what I want to print. Here in row 0, first I want to print space, that is 4 space. After that I want to print star. In row 1, first I want to print 3 space, next 2 star. So that means in every row, first I want to print space. After that I want to print star. So that's why inside this for loop for row, I need to take 2 more for loop. One for loop is to print space. Here we need to print space, and I need to take another for loop like this, and here I need to print star. So here inside the for loop for row, I need to take two for loops. One for loop is to print space and another for loop is to print star. And also I need to take the for loop for space first, because here in the pattern, first I want to print space, after that star. Now to print space, what I'll do is I'll use print function, and here I'll print space, and also I'll take end parameter in the print function as empty string. In print function, by default, the value of end parameter is /n. That is, after printing any message, it will go to the next line. But here, we don't want that. After printing a space here, we want to print the next space after that in the same line, right? That's why here I need to change the value of end. And here I'm taking end as empty string. So don't go to the next line, keep the control in the same line. Here also I want to print star here. So print star. Here also you need to do the same thing, end is equal to empty string, because after printing one star, we want another star in the same line, right? That's why. Alright, so now we took two for loop inside the for loop for row. One is for space and another one is for star, to print star. Now let's take how many space we want in each row and how many star we want in each row. Here we can see when row is 5, that is the n value. When n is 5, in the first row, that is at row 0, I want 4 star. And at row 1, I want 3 stars. We need to take a general formula for this, how many space we want in each row. So that's why the formula to print space is n minus I minus 1. In any pattern program, if you are taking row from 0, then this is the formula to print the space required in every row. N minus I minus 1. Here you can apply this formula and check. N value is 5 here, I value is 0, minus 1, so I'll get 4 space. When n value is 5, I value is 1, 5 minus 1, so I'll get 3. Okay, it will work for the space. So here in the for loop for space, you need to mention you want n minus I minus 1 space. Next, here this is the for loop to print star. So let's see how many stars we want in every row. Number of star we want in every row. First we want 1, next 2, next 3, next 4, next 5. That is, when row is 0, we want 1 star. When row is 1, we want 2 star. When row is 2, we want 3 star. That is nothing but row plus 1 star, right? If row is 0, I want 1 star. If row is 1, I want 2 star. That is nothing but row plus 1 star. And here I is representing the row value. That's why I plus 1 star. So now we are done with the first pattern. And here I need to take a print function. That is, in a row, first we need to print space, next we need to print star. After that, for the next row, I need to go to the next line. So that's why I need this print function. Here end value is /n, so it will go to the next line. In row 0, using for loop, we will print space. After using next for loop, we will print star. After completing this row, we need to go to the next line to print the space or star in the next row. So that's why we are using this print function here. Now if I execute this program, here we can see we are getting this pattern. So part 1 is done. Now part 1 is done. So next let's move on to the part 2. Now we want to print number pattern 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Also you can see after printing this pattern, we want a space here. Okay, I'll print a space here. I think here you can see, right? And next we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here next to this pattern. When we are printing row 0 value, we need to print star. Next we want to print 1. Next 2 star. Next 2, 3. Next we want to print 3 star. Next we want to print 3, 4, 5. Okay, we want in the same line, right? So that's why here, because I want to print another pattern after star pattern, I need to take end value as end is equal to space. Don't go to the next line. We have something more to print in the row. That is, so in the first row, that is in row 0, I'll first print space, next star. Next I want to print 1 also in row 0, right? And in between that I want to print a space. Between these two pattern I want to print space. That's why I took print end is equal to space. After that I'll write the code for this pattern. So this is the second pattern. Here we want numbers. I'll take row value as same. It is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. At row 0, I want 1. At row 1, I want 2, 3. At row 2, I want 3, 4, 5. At row 3, I want 4, 5, 6, 7. At row 4, I want 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That means here in this pattern, we don't want to print space before the number. That's why I'll just take one for loop to print number. So here I'll take for loop for j in range. I want I plus 1 numbers. And I want I plus 1 numbers in every row, because here we can see 0, 1. When I is 1, we want 2 numbers. When I is 2, we want 3 numbers. When I is 3, we want 4 numbers. That is nothing but I plus 1 value, right? And here inside this for loop, we need to print the number. Now the question is how to print the number. In the row 0, I want 1. When row 1, I want 2 and 3. When I value is 2, I want to start from 3, next 4, next 5. I need to print 3, 4, 5. When I value is 3, I want to print 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's why to print this, what I'll do is, here I'll just take a variable m and I'll take I plus 1. M is just a variable, and here I'll print that, and I'll take end is equal to empty string. And also I'll increment m value. Now why I'm doing this? If I take m as I plus 1, so when I is 0, m value will be 1. So first I'll print that. Next, when I value is 1, m value will be 2. So it will print that. After that, inside the for loop, I took m equal to m plus 1. So m value becomes 3. So it will print that. Now again, when I is 2, m value becomes 3. So first it will print that. Next, I took m equal to m plus 1, so that it will print 4 and 5 in the next iterations. At the beginning of every row, I am reassigning the m value. I am taking m as I plus 1. When I value is 0, at row 0, m value becomes 1. I is 0 plus 1, so we'll get m as 1. So it will print that first. Next, we don't want any other number in that row, so it will go to here and I value becomes 1. So we'll get m value as 2. So it will print that in the row 1, that is the second row. Next, it will increment the m value, so we'll get m as 3. So we'll get 2 and 3. That's why we are taking like this. And here, after completing this, I need to take a print function. This print function is for new line. In this pattern, first we'll print space, next star, next a space, next number. After this, we need to stop this, right? After that, we need to go to the second row. And to print the star or number or space in the second row, we need to go to the next line. So for that, we are using this print function now. Now if I execute this, here you can see our two patterns. Part 1 and part 2 is completed now. Let's move on to the part 3. So here in this for loop, this is the for loop for row. I took range as n, so it will print only 5 rows. But as I said, if I take input as 5 row, in the output I need to take 10 rows, right? That's why what you need to do is, we need to do this again. So copy this and paste this. This code is for lower diamond shape. This is for upper diamond shape. This is for lower diamond shape. Okay, so here for I in range n, and let's move on to the part 3. So in part 3, I want to print numbers like this: 54321, 5432, 543, 545. Here row value I took as 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. When row is 0, first I want to print numbers here. 0 space. So let me write down space and star. 0 space 5 star. Sorry, numbers, right? Here numbers. 1 space and 4 numbers. 2 space and 3 number. 3 space and 2 number. 4 space and 1 number. Okay. So here you can see, first I want to print space. After that number, so first I need to take a for loop for space, and here let's see how many space I want. When row is 0, I want 0 space. When row is 1, I want 1 space. When row is 2, I want 2 space. When row is 3, I want 3 space. When row is 4, I want 4 space. That is nothing but row space. So here I want I space. So this is the for loop to print space, and here I want I space. Okay, so now we are done with this space. So next let's move on to the numbers. Here we don't want to print star, but here we want to print numbers. So I'll remove this, and let's see first how many numbers we want to print. After that, see which number we want to print. So here when I is 0, I want 5 number. When I is 1, I want 4. When I is 2, when I want 3 numbers. When I is 3, I want 2 numbers. That's why I write the formula as n minus I numbers. We'll get this output when n value is 5. So when I do 5 minus 0, I'll get 5. 5 minus 1, I'll get 4. 5 minus 2, I'll get 3. So you can take, I want n minus I number in every row. So here you need to mention n minus I. Great. Now here let's check what we want to print. Here we want to print numbers, right? While dealing with numbers, we need to be careful. So here I want to print 5 first, next 4, next 3, next 2, next 1. And here also I need to start from 5, next 4, next 3, next 2. Next here also I want to start from 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 5. And here j values are like this, 3, 4. We are taking separate for loop for space and number. That's why for numbers, the column number will be like this. Now if I take n minus j, it will print the numbers. If I just print n minus j here. Okay. And now if I execute this, just don't look at part 4. Just ignore this. And here you can see part 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 5, 4 and 5. What I did is, I did n minus j. Here n value is 5. J value is nothing but row value. And here we are taking separate for loop for space and number. That's why index will be like this. Okay, that's why I took n minus j. That's why we got the output. Now let's move on to the last part. Part 4. And in the part 4, we want to print this 13579, 3579, 579, 79 and 9. In this pattern, you can see the difference between the number is 2. 3 minus 1, 2. 5 minus 3, 2. 7 minus 5, 2. 9 minus 7, 2. So the difference between the number is 2. Because here the difference between the number is 2 and we are writing these two patterns together, part 3 and part 4 together. That's why I need to do small change in this for loop here. We need to start from 0 here, and I need to take 2 multiply n. Here I need to take step as 2. That means what I'm doing is, for lower diamond, I'm taking the row numbers as, if I enter n value as 5, then it will work from 0 to 10. So we'll get the row number as 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, I'm not taking row number as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of, I'm taking 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. If I'm doing changes here, then I need to do changes in this also, right? In the part 3 also. That's why here I'll take one variable k and I'll divide I divided by 2. Truncated division 2. Because of pattern 4, I need to do changes in pattern 3 also, because I'm printing that together, right? That's why. So what here we are doing is, instead of taking the I values or row values as 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, I took 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Now because I changed the row number, I need to change this code also, right? So for that, what I'm doing is, I'm getting this value from this row number. That is, I'm taking k is equal to I truncated division 2. When I divide 0 by 2, I'll get 0. 2 divided by 2, I'll get 1. 4 divided by 2, I'll get 2. 6 divided by 2, I'll get 3. 8 divided by 2, I'll get 4. Okay, I'll get these numbers k. Initially, I'm taking row number as 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Next, what I'm doing, I'm taking a variable and I'm dividing the row number by 2. So I'll get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 from that. So here, instead of I, you just need to take k. That's it. No need to change anything else. Here, if I execute this now, I'll get the same output. Just ignore the part 4. In the part 3, we are getting same output, right? Now, let's move on to the part 4. As I said, in the part 4, I'm taking number as 2, 4, 6, 8. Here I'll write down the I values. So here in the pattern what I'll do is I'll take the range as I2 to multiply n and 2. So I'm not starting this range from 0. Instead of that, I'm starting from I value. If I do that, here I can take j plus 1. If I take row numbers like this and column number like this, then values are nothing but j plus 1, right? That's why here we are taking the range like this. And now if I execute this program, if I take 5, here we'll get our required pattern. And if you don't want that space, you can remove this, okay? And here also you can remove this. Because 10, 11 or contains 2 digits, that's why we are not getting proper shape here. If you want to work on that, you can give here space or you can format the numbers so that you can get proper shape. Print the numbers in the proper shape. And also you can see this code is very lengthy. You can modify this program and make it short. If you are interested or know any other method to print this pattern, don't forget to share with us. You can share your code in the comment section so that it can help many other people. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will meet you in next class. Till then, take care.